Ever have one of those weeks where your whole GLP-1 routine just falls off? That was me. Not because the medication stopped working, but because life started lifing. Things got in the way. Today I'll show you what threw me off, what I'm changing, and how I'm going to get back on track. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Anissa and you're watching Reset with Anissa. This is my journey to reclaim my health by reversing my type 2 diabetes and getting my health into a normal range and just making sure that my body is in optimum condition so that I can live a long and healthy life. After 5 months of steady progress, all of a sudden it just felt like my Mounjaro 7.5 milligrams wasn't working. But it wasn't the medication at all. Life started lifing, my routine changed. And it took me about 4 days to realize what was happening. The scale stopped moving, and usually I weigh every day, so I can notice a little bit of weight loss. My energy dipped and my mornings were super hard the last, 4 or 5 days. I'm filming this because I know that I am not the only one who's run into roadblocks or bumps on my GLP-1 journey. If your routine feels off, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I figured it out and what I'm doing to get back on track. I'm going to include my latest numbers and what my reset is going to look like. Let's start with the numbers. Last week, I weighed in at 173 pounds. This week, I weighed in at 173.4 pounds. So in my 5 months on Mounjaro, this is the first week where I had a gain. I gained 0.4 of a pound. My fasting glucose is also higher. If you didn't notice it or you didn't see it, I made a video that I put out on Saturday. I'll link it right here about my 5 months on Mounjaro. And I tested my fasting glucose and it was under 3 digits for the first time on this whole journey. Well, guess what? As soon as I celebrated that success, didn't the number go right back up? It's not skyrocketed, but this week, my average glucose for fasting has averaged 114. So that's 15 points higher than it was on Saturday. And my energy level, I don't have a real word for it. It is just blah. I haven't had the energy to even exercise this week. I have not exercised this week. On Saturday, I talked about needing more sleep. Last week, I was averaging about 6.25 hours of sleep. This week, I'm averaging less than 6 hours of sleep. You might hear my cat meowing. I've even been hitting the snooze button, which makes me wake up with not enough time to even work out, even if I wanted to, even if I had the energy to do it. Those things have made a difference in my whole week. When I first started Mounjaro 7.5 milligrams in August, everything felt locked in. I also am a school counselor, so I was on summer break when I started it, and my routine was kind of locked in. I woke up, I had my protein coffee, I went outside for a walk in some sunshine, I came back, I usually watched a little YouTube, prepared my meal for lunch, for dinner, usually went for another walk, I used my exercise bike, I made sure that I at least got good sleep. I didn't need as much in the summer because I wasn't as busy, but if I wasn't as busy and I'm averaging the same amount of sleep I averaged when I was not at work, that's not enough anymore. And maybe it's just catching up with me. I'm thinking that maybe my fasting glucose is higher because of the lack of sleep and because of the lack of exercise. When I exercise, my glucose is lower. I just have really let life get in the way this last week. So here's the thing. Earlier in my journey, I would have thought that Mounjaro stopped working, but I'm realizing it's not Mounjaro. If I don't work it, it doesn't work. It is doing its job, but Mounjaro cannot outrun bad habits. And because I've been so busy this week with faculty meetings, helping my son with physics and geometry, and trying to just get through the day without enough sleep, I haven't worked my own routine. Mounjaro is doing its thing. Anissa, that's me. I'm not doing my thing. And it's showing. A weight gain of 0.4 of a pound, glucose up 15, no energy to even exercise. I've got to make a change starting now. What I'm finding is that GLP-1 medications like Mounjaro work best when our routine is working. So if we are getting sleep and we're getting nutrition and we are making sure that we move our bodies, we're going to see the results that we want. Some people are doing this to control their blood sugar. Some people are using Zepbound for sleep apnea. Other people are using it to help their diabetes. For me, it's both diabetes and weight loss. If ever before I wondered if my routine mattered, this week taught me that I can take Mounjaro 7.5 milligrams every week, but if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, it's not going to work like it could. So here's what I'm changing. I have an iPhone and I have an Apple Watch, and it has this kind of sleep timer on it, a reminder. I have a bedtime reminder now. I will be in my bed at 10:30 p.m. and I am going to put my CPAP machine on as soon as I get in my bed. That is going to help me get enough sleep, enough rest. Hopefully, that lets me get 7 hours of sleep before I go to work. Next up is workout time. For now, I think I need to move my workouts to after work because I need sleep. And I think that if I go to bed at 10:30 and I get up at 5:30, that just doesn't leave me enough time to work out and then get ready for my day. I won't miss workouts if I move them to the end of the day. As far as my nutrition, I am going to move back to my low-carb staples. I went to Trader Joe's and bought more of their chili lime grilled chicken, their lemon grilled chicken, and that is in the prepared food section. I got like frozen sweet potato fries for my son. I bought a lot of bags of salad, fresh green beans, things to saute the green beans in. If I do these things, I can have dinner and the leftovers can be for lunch. I'm not making any dose changes because it's not the dose that's the problem. It's what I'm doing that isn't working. I have a doctor's appointment on October 20th where I'm hoping that my A1C is lower. I am going to work this plan at least through October 20th. On that day when I talk to my doctor, it'll be up to my doctor to suggest going up to 10 milligrams. But if it's up to me, I'll stay on 7.5 milligrams because I don't have an appetite. My doctor is most worried about my glucose levels. So if my doctor believes that 10 milligrams is what I need to keep my diabetes under control, I certainly will consider up to 10 milligrams. But if I have to move up to 10 milligrams, I have to consult with a dietitian to plan out my meals. Now I'm going to go back now to tell you what this week has been like. So since I'm waking up tired, I'm not cooking breakfast for myself. That means I make my coffee, my protein coffee, but I'm stopping at a local convenience store, buying a pack of cashews to get some protein or a bag of pork rinds and my sugar-free gum to cover up the smell of the cashews and the pork rinds. That is not what I was typically eating. Typically, I was eating a couple of pieces of bacon and some egg whites, which was very high protein and no carbs at all, but it powered me through to lunch. Because I got up so late, I didn't even have the time to pack my lunch on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday of this week. That means that I have to buy lunch out. The convenience store that I get lunch out from had only breaded chicken for the salad and balsamic vinaigrette. And I could tell that that balsamic vinaigrette was very sweet. It was delicious, but it was very sweet. There's extra hidden carbs that I don't know how many carbs were in that salad. So I couldn't even put it in my Lose It app to figure out what the carb count was. Carb creep for me makes my glucose rise. Here's the biggest thing. Aww. Now, my son has tutoring and has activities. I had a faculty meeting. I'm leaving work late. What do I do for dinner? Drive right on through to a fast food drive-through. And I bought fast food for him at Wendy's, and I got myself a chili, and my weight skyrocketed. That chili from Wendy's is delicious. If you do that 3 days in a row, eating foods with more carbs, eating foods with high sodium, why am I even surprised that my weight went up by almost a half a pound? Now I probably even have inflammation in my body. That's why my routine is so important. And that's why I'm moving my workouts to the end of the day, because I need to get 7 hours of sleep so that I wake up with enough energy to meal prep and plan what I'm having for breakfast and lunch every day. For me, it's a slippery slope. Once I left this house without eating breakfast and didn't even have my lunch with me, there was no hope for the rest of the day. And then I let that carry over, not just for one day, not just for 2 days, but for 3 days. Today is Thursday. I'm not letting that happen today. And like one of you said in the comments, I'm going to read it so I have it exactly right, and I'll post who said this. But someone said to me in the comments, we have to stay consistent with our healthcare routines to stay successful. And you're 100% right. I let my routine slip. No workout, no energy, high blood glucose levels, and a weight gain. So I've been reading your comments, and a few of you have asked about like what my glucose is, what my energy is like, and even whether I change my food intake. All three of those things changed. Energy level dipped, fasting glucose up. Food intake, the amount of food I eat has probably stayed the same, but what I'm eating, very, very different. Not healthy at all. So I just want to say it means so much to me that you're paying attention and commenting, because that is what helped me realize my routine was off. I wanted to answer your questions, and I had to go back and look at what I was doing. Like, what is fasting glucose? What is my energy level? Am I eating the right amount of food? Am I eating healthy, nutrient-dense foods? Starting today, this whole next week is going to be about, drumroll please, getting better sleep, moving my body, nutrient-dense foods, and making sure that if I start to see the scale creep up or my glucose creep up, that I actually take a look at what I've been doing, say the 6 before that, so that I can make an immediate 180. So if you're like me and your GLP-1 routine has just seemed to stop working, don't panic. Take a look at what's happening. Try to look at what your best week was and try to recalibrate. It doesn't mean the medication failed. Sometimes we just need a reset, like the name of my channel, Reset with Anissa. Well, here is another reset. Next week, I'll share my 7-day update and let you know if the reset worked. I'll update you on all my stats, my weight loss, my fasting glucose, my energy levels, and my workout. Did I stick to working out after work? And if this video helped you feel a little less lonely on your journey, please consider subscribing to the channel. Like the video, comment. Let me know if this has ever happened to you. Your comments really helped me to figure out what was happening with me. Thanks, and see you soon.